Free Odyssey app, 1320 AM, 98.5 FM HD2, and I'm done housekeeping.
Okay.
I think when we talked about priorities for Scott Perry, we talked about, okay, what's his first priority? And everyone, the coach. You got to get a coach. Okay, fine. Got that out of the way. Got a coach. Keegan Murray's extension now becomes the top priority, right? And making sure that extension is done, for lack of a better word, correctly. And in a way that's not going to hinder you down the road.
I think that the first thing you have to do is, like, because Keon Ellis's situation is so pressing, you have to come up with a decision right now. That's the one that is going to be on the forefront. But I also think that right away you skip to, okay, let's just get this done so we know what's happening. You do have time. You have until October to work out an extension with Keegan Murray. And even if you don't work out an extension, he plays out next season and he's a restricted free agent after that. So it's not as pressing, but it matters. And it's something that if you're going to start making like these gigantic transactions that everybody wants the Kings to make, you have to know what your salary is going to look like in each of the next couple of years. Right. So getting a player like this under contract quickly, it does make sense. And, like Keith Smith from Spotrac today, Spot Track. Anyway, he brought up the Keegan Murray extension and said he thinks like a fair value is a 5-year between 130 and 140 million, which puts Keegan at an average annual valuation of roughly 26 to 28 million. That to me is very, it's pretty spot on. If you can get him for 26, I think that's great.
I agree.
If it's 28, again, that's a little high for what he is today, but what he can be is still, there's a big thing, question mark how good he can be. And I've said this before, but I think his career, like sort of arc, is going to look similar to Cam Johnson's. I think there will be a year where Keegan Murray jumps up to 18 to 20 points a game, but it's going to be circumstantial. And you don't want your team to be so bad that Keegan Murray has to score 20 points a game. But you do hope that there's a moment where Keegan can be an 18 to 20 point per game scorer on a really good team, and that he'll have that kind of voice and that kind of influence on the team. And that could be this year. It could. But I think for me, it's like, that's a big question.
Yeah, you got to, if you're Scott Perry, that's one of the things you have to drill down on. And you got to know that for sure. What is Keegan Murray's ceiling? What do you think Keegan Murray's ceiling is, at least? And are you banking on that down the road to be part of that core? Or if not, are you signing him to a lesser extension, trying to, and if he's not amenable to it, are you trying to get some value for him?
Yeah.
These are the kind of things Scott Perry's going to have to do. I want to run through a couple things on the Keegan Murray contract, but I want to get to the Elk Grove Kia Talk line, where we have a couple people waiting very patiently. 916-909-1320, 916-909-1320. Phone lines are open. You want to call in and talk to the great Joe Brazil, go ahead and do that, and then you'll talk to us. I want to get to our guy TC first, because he's got some ideas on what the Kings can do this offseason. TC, you're on the Elk Grove Kia Talk line with the Insiders. Go ahead, man.
Yes, sir. What's up with my two dudes, man? Kyle Hammer, what's up?
What's happening?
Hey, look. So real quick on the Keon. They're both valuable, Keon and Keegan. I think that's a reasonable. So Keegan at 25 a year, so 4 years, 100 million. I get it to 26, 27, but I think that's a decent deal. Yeah. As far as Keon, I'm with that. I think Hammer that what was that? The Rashawn Holmes contract. What was that? 12.5 mil a year. 12 mil.
Yeah, it was right around that. It was I want to say it was 3 year. No, it was a 4-year deal. 48? It was a little more. I think it's 4 and 54, but something like that.
Okay, but either way.
Okay. Okay, yes. But with that'll have him staying. That'll have him stay. We don't have to compete with nobody.
Oh. And he's gone.
We lost TC.
You can call back TC. Yeah, I think if you can get Keon for 12, that makes sense to me.
No, I like 10 to 12. That would be great for the Kings.
The Keegan Murray thing real quick. So 130 million over 5 years puts him at 26 million. 140 would put him at 28. Here are the forwards. Again, this is according to Spot Chart.
Okay.
Here are the forwards in that range. Trey Murphy III makes 28 million a year exactly. 112 over 4 years.
Okay.
Andrew Wiggins 27.2. Jaden McDaniels 26.2, although he signed his deal back in 2024. 26.2. Jaren Jackson Jr., he is a free agent, but he was at 26.1. Tobias Harris just signed a 26 million a year deal. Miles Bridges 25. Draymond's at 25 a year. I think 26 to 28 for Keegan. Again, accounting for inflation of the salary cap.
Yep.
I think that's super reasonable, especially if Scott Perry sees Keegan Murray as a piece of this core that we've talked about. If Keegan Murray is a player that he thinks, yep, we are going to get the right pieces around him, Keegan is going to elevate. He is going to be a very, very good third option. On some nights, he'll be the 2 or the 1, depending on how his shot is falling and depending on matchups. That is a player that we really believe in, and we think that 26 million a year is going to be a bargain. Then great. I don't hate that at all.
Yeah.
But if there's doubt, if Keegan Murray is going to be a 14 points a night guy, and he's going to be inconsistent shooting the ball, and he's going to make upwards of 26, 27, 28 million a year, now that contract becomes a little more cumbersome for me.
I'm with you. But I'd also look, if you're going to give Keegan Murray, let's just say you're giving him 26 million a year,
which
right?
It feels like you have to. That's the other thing. You have to do. If you're not doing that, then you just don't believe in him as a player, which is fine if that's what this front office decides.
Yeah.
But then don't just keep him around to keep him around.
No, I'm with you. I'm just if you're giving him the one, let's say a 5-year 130.
Okay.
Right. So I know people keep saying 4-year 100. He's a rookie scale first extension guy. You're looking at a 5-year deal because why not? If you're gonna sign him, you believe he's a ball player, you sign him no matter what. And that takes Keegan Murray all the way to 30. So I think that's where they would go. But if we look at a $26 million, even if you start with a $26 million deal for year 1, which is the salary cap will be at 171 million in his year 1 year. It's 15% of the cap. That is a very good deal. That's where you want to be.
And that's in year 1.
Yeah, that's in year 1. And his salary is going to go up 8% a year, where the cap goes up 10%. So you're actually going to drop down every year a little bit. So by the end of that deal, he'd probably be at 14% of the salary cap. And that's probably in line with what you want to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good value. And I like the number. Again, the $26 million average annual valuation for a salary is not a $26 million starting salary. So even 26 starting, he's probably going to be less than that to start.
Dang, Jalen Green got 3 and 106. My goodness. I went to go. I forgot he got that contract. I went to go. I wonder what Jalen Green got, because I think he probably go a little bit south of that. But no, he got more than 30 million a year.
I think you brought your allergies in here. I'm coughing all of a sudden.
Yeah, are you
allergy cough? Yeah.
My allergies. What's that? Contagious?
Yeah,
Yikes.
They're contagious. We do have.
I did not realize Jalen Green got 35 and a quarter a year.
Holy but we're talking about the second pick in the draft.
That's crazy.
And a guy who averaged 20 a game.
God.
So
35.
We do have some news out of the NBA.
Oh, okay.
The 2024 Kia NBA All Rookie First Team was announced. Stephon Castle from San Antonio, Zach Edey.
I'm not gonna do a ding for all of them. That'd be crazy.
Zachary Reese-Sachet, Alex Sarr, and Jalen Wells. Sacramento's own.
Good for Jalen Wells.
Let's get a clap for that one, though.
Yeah, there we go. We got some air horns too. Let's get some air horns in here.
The second team is Matas Bozulis, the Chicago Bulls small forward. Bub Carrington, point guard for the Washington Wizards. Donovan Clingham. This is where it gets crazy. Clingham, Yves Misi, and Khalil Ware.
An abomination.
3 centers on the second team and 2 on the first team. So 5 centers out of the 10 All rookie.
Khalil Ware and Yves Missi were good.
Oh yeah, Yves Missi is
Was
fun.
Klingon good?
I don't think Klingon is good. I don't like. I watch Donovan Klingon, and I think like
it's a complete crap.
Yeah, like early '90s NBA center.
Yeah,
like
that's it. He moves that way.
He moves like,
which it feels like the sport is trying to trend back that way a little bit, but I just don't know that it's going to happen fast enough where we might in 20 years be like, man, if Donovan Klingon was born 15 years later, it would have been.
I guess, but I mean, he's just so like he's. Lumbering.
I don't watch enough Blazers basketball. When the Blazers play the Kings, that's how much Blazers basketball I watch. So I don't have enough to have a firm take on Donovan Klingon. I was just never super impressed when they played Sacramento.
Yeah, I just know he does not look good against Domantas Sabonis. That's the one thing he does not. Like, he gets beat up by Domantas Sabonis. So, yeah. Anyway.
Right on. Cool.
Yeah. So interesting.
All rookie teams.
Yeah, all rookie team. Of course, the Sacramento Kings are not represented with the all rookie team selections. That's
Devin Carter just missed
it. Devin Carter was, I don't think Devin Carter was eligible because he missed so many games.
Right. All right. So Keegan Murray and that extension are going to be something worth watching. That's probably outside of the Keon thing, which you've mentioned, has a little bit more urgency to it. The Keegan Murray extension, I think, is going to tell us a lot about where Scott Perry's head is at with Keegan as a player.
Yeah.
And what their plan is. Because if you're going to pay Keegan, you have to now make sure that he's not being backburnered on offense. Because I know that offense isn't everything. Like, he's such a good defender and he's versatile. I got all that. I follow.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you can't be paying a guy 26, 27, 28 million a year if he's going to be just an afterthought on that end.
No, that's true. But
that would have to come with some level of ascension.
So for me, like, yeah, I need Keegan to average 15 million a year for that contract to be worth it.
15 points?
15 points. Yeah, I'm sorry. 15 points per game for that contract to be worth it.
Sure.
But I just don't think that that's difficult at all. I mean, he averaged over that the year before this last season. You know, I do think that he is a 15 to 18 point scorer without even.
I just hope he hasn't flatlined as a player, is all.
Yeah, no, that's a concern. But I would even make the argument, though, if he flatlines as a player and this is who he is, he would be a starter on a very, very good playoff team.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That's true.
It's just you're worried that his offensive production is not going to be, is not going to be way up here. But I think you can still get him to like the Sean Marion status as an offensive player. Maybe not as good defensively, but close. And that's a good thing. Like, if he's going to be a third or fourth, he doesn't have to be your third best player to be your third scoring option.
Yeah. Let's get to Mitch in New Jersey here on the Elk Grove Kia Talk line before